I told my friends what happened to me, and they all urged me to share it here. It was in December, about a week before Christmas. I'm a 32-year-old guy currently using my GI Bill to attend college in a city out in one of the Mountain Time Zone states. My schedule is packed with school and work, so I don't have the time to go out and meet people. That's why I rely on dating apps, hoping to connect with someone. One night, I matched with this stunning girl. Let's call her Sarah. We hit it off right away, chatting easily, and ended up scheduling a date. We met at a bar not far from either of our places, which made it super convenient. She was even prettier in person, and our conversation flowed smoothly. During our time together, I learned she worked as a receptionist at a police station and lived with a roommate. She also casually mentioned that she had a stalker, her crazy ex-boyfriend who wouldn't leave her alone. That was a red flag, but she brushed it off saying he was harmless. I wasn't so sure, but I didn't press it. After a few drinks, the night was going well, and Sarah suggested we head to her place. When we got there, something felt off. She didn't lock the door. It was already open. That caught me off guard, especially since she'd just told me about her stalker. She didn't seem worried at all. As she started feeding her cat, I noticed a bowl of cereal on the kitchen counter. I touched it. It was cold, like it hadn't been there long. The cereal wasn't soggy either. I asked her whose it was, but she hesitated, then claimed it was hers from earlier. I didn't buy it, but before I could say anything, she kissed me and led me to her bedroom. We started fooling around, and I went to close the curtains. That's when she stopped me. She wanted them open. I thought it was strange, but we kept going. A few minutes later, as I lay on my back with my eyes closed, she gasped loudly, almost in panic. I turned around to see what was going on. She was staring out the window. I looked outside and saw a figure in a hoodie, someone watching us. Then they ran. I heard footsteps racing across her back deck. I jumped up, my heart pounding, and rushed to check if the doors were locked. Of course, the front door wasn't. I locked it immediately, but the second I did, there was a loud bang on the door. I wanted to go after the guy, but Sarah told me to go back to bed. I was livid. "Is this your ex?" I yelled. She nodded casually, as if this was normal, and told me to calm down. But the banging continued, now on the side of the house. I was shaking. Something was seriously wrong here. At that point, I was beyond terrified. I started calling her out. "This doesn't make sense. Why wasn't the door locked? Why is he here?" I could barely think straight. My flight or fight instincts kicked in, and I threatened her, saying, "If this is some kind of setup, I swear I'll fight back." I couldn't trust her anymore. I didn't know what was going on, but I couldn't stay there. I ordered an Uber in secret, trying to keep her distracted. I stayed by the door just in case I needed to run. When the Uber arrived, I grabbed my stuff and bolted out of there as fast as I could. I glanced back, and she was still standing in the doorway, just staring at me. The ride back to the bar felt like a blur. I was shaken, angry at myself for letting it get this far. A 9-year Navy vet, and here I was, almost trapped in God knows what kind of situation. But the weirdness didn't stop there. About a month later, I was visiting family in southern France. I booked an Airbnb for a night, and immediately things felt off. I had visited this area before, and I like to stay somewhere private, away from people. So I chose a modest, lower-budget place. When I arrived, the landlord was late. He apologized but made a strange comment about speeding home after drinking, saying, "I didn't have time to sober up." That should have been my first red flag, but I let it slide. Then came the second one. He showed me to a flat adjacent to his house, claiming I'd have my own space, my own kitchen, bathroom, everything. But I didn't like that he lived so close by. The flat was lower than street level, and I could see right away that it felt off. When he showed me a door connecting my flat to his house, he made a point to say it was locked. Later that evening, as I sat on the bed, I heard a knock at the door. Then the unmistakable sound of keys turning in the lock. The landlord walked in, asking if I'd seen his phone. I froze. It was strange and uncomfortable. He looked around my flat, then apologized and left. But as he left, I noticed something unsettling. The bedroom had two chairs. One of them had ropes tied to the armrests. Why would they be there? I couldn't stop thinking about it. The more I thought about it, the more paranoid I became. Eventually, I decided to leave. But just as I was about to go, I heard the door opening again. This time, it wasn't the landlord. A different man, middle-aged, not the one I had met, answered. "I'm Tim," he said. The same name as the landlord. I was already spooked, but this confirmed something wasn't right. I left as fast as I could, checked into a hostel, and never looked back. This story was like a nightmare that never quite ends. Looking back, I should have listened to my gut. But sometimes we get caught up in the moment and ignore the warning signs. I'm lucky to have escaped both situations, but to this day, I can't shake the feeling that I narrowly avoided something much worse.